In the beer halls and bread lines of many European cities, fascism rose as an answer to the hopelessness of the day, a workable defense against a total economic collapse that the fascists warned was imminent. Economic collapse meant descent into another world war, this one on a biblical scale, a war the fascists were certain the totalitarian threat of Russian communism sought to cause. In the United States, many of the great industrialists agreed. They denounced Russian communism and the world slavery it would bring. Communism and socialism were treason disguised as labor unions run by communist-directed foreign agitators who freely assaulted the very underpinnings of the United States. These great industrialists swore an oath on God's Bible that the free and democratic United States of America would not survive President Roosevelt's radical socialist reordering of the American way. America desperately needed new leadership, not the New Deal. America needed men who knew the truth and could light the way. Men like them. Prudent men like J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, and Randolph Hearst. Strong men like Henry Ford, Irénée DuPont, and Walter C. Teagle of Standard Oil. These men and others stated a clear vision for the United States of America. A vision that would forge and maintain order to the benefit of everyone. The rich were not evil because others were poor. The rich were the absolute proof that American capitalism worked and Russian communism did not. If democracy and capitalism were to be saved for the common man, the United States must protect the fortunes of those who had earned them. The country must look beyond the bread lines, migrant camps, and cemeteries full of the common man, and, if forced to defend freedom, fight another world war. 1929. Chapter 1. Winter. The bluff was protection, just outside the Arab college in Jerusalem, and just high enough to be safe from the stones an angry elder might throw. 16-year-old Saba Hassouneh crept to the edge, intent on her father as the crowd encircled him, his gentle professor's voice now raised in defiance.
"We are not England's livestock. Your sons and daughters are not the British slaves."
The crowd of Arab men was 10 deep and growing. Young and old, dressed in traditional long-shirt thobes, some with waistcoats, tarbush caps, and checkered keffiyehs, some in Western suits, they shouted and stomped their agreement, churning the parched mull until it rose as a blanket above their ankles. 10 years of drought were burning all of once fertile Palestine into desert. Saba jumped to her feet and shouted support for her father. Precocious and feminine, the professor's daughter was a well-read, if starry-eyed, patriot, bilingual since age 12, and likely to die at the hands of her fellow Arabs for those offenses. A half-hidden girl at Saba's knee tugged at her sleeve, cringing at Saba's display and the long chestnut hair that Saba declined to cover, even now with the clerics in plain view.
"Sit, you are too bold. Sit before the men see us." "See, I told you."
Saba glowed with teenage pride.
"My father is not afraid. He is a great man. He will liberate Palestine from England, and I will help."
Both girls were visible on the low bluff. Saba hugged an American novel to her chest, one of many she read to improve her English, stories that thrilled her with their adventure and romance. America, victors in their fight for freedom.
"Saba, you must sit."
Sit? How could she? Her father openly confronted Great Britain, the largest, most ruthless colonial power on earth. It was not a time to sit. The very existence of Palestine hung in the balance. England's King George had made promises. Saba had read and reread every document, the promises of England's king explained in great detail by her father.